Hi folks, welcome back. We are still looking at translations, a type of transformation. Remember, a transformation is just moving or changing a shape. We're dealing with rigid motions. Those are movements and changes that do not change the angle measurements or the lengths of the sides if you have a polygon. We haven't looked at that yet, so let's take a look at a polygon. Let's say I've got a triangle. Let's say I've got a triangle here. And it looks just like that. Let's call it A, B, B, C. A, B, C. Got a little extra there. A, B, C. Okay, and I'm basically going to take A, B, C and I'm going to slide it. I'm going to slide it. Let's say, start here. Let's say I slide it over like that, and let's say I slide it up to there. Okay, so let's say it finishes off there. That type of movement is called a translation. Translation. And I'm going to, well, let's put this back where it started here. Let's take a look at what we did. We took this, and it was here, right? It was there. A was there, and we moved it over. We slid it. Really, we did that, right? So A is going to start. A is going to start at, let's see, what is this? Well, this is 0, so this is -1, 2, 3, -1, 2. So -3, -2, -3, -2. B is going to start at, it's not quite lined up here. B is going to start at, well, -1, and I didn't go up or down, so I'm just at -1, -1, comma 0, and C is going to be at, well, -1, -1, 2. So -1, -2. -1, -2. So these are my starting coordinates for each point. I could call this whole thing triangle A, B, C. And if I did this movement, if I took it and I slid it over 1, 2, 3, 4 units and up 1, 2 units, let's say I end up there, I'm going to say that this is going to slide over, it's going to slide over 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to write my translation rule. I'm going to say this is over 4 because it's to the right, and it's going to be up. I'm going to move this up 1, 2. Let's say I move it up 2. Okay, up and over. So this would be the rule. I'd say translation 4, 2, and I'd say that this is of triangle A, B, C. And when I end up, let's put this back here. I'm going to move this. And when I end up there, it's not going to be A, B, C anymore. It's going to be A prime, B prime, C prime. So let's take a look at that. So here, I'm going to move this over, and each one of these points is going to move the same amount. It's a rigid motion, so the A is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. The C is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. And the B is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. And then they're all going to do the same thing in the upward direction. So let's say B goes left 1, 2, 3, 4, and up 2, 1, 2. That's going to put B prime. It's going to put B prime right here, B prime. And again, that's from B to B prime. It started out as B in what's called the pre-image, and it ended up as B prime in the image. Okay, C is going to do the same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, up 1, 2, so that's going to become C prime there, C prime there, and I can connect those. A will do the same, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, that will become A prime there, and now I can redraw my triangle. And so I'm going to say that that is going to become, and this isn't really part of the notation, I'm just telling you, that's going to go to triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. So those are corresponding, these are similar triangles, they're congruent. They have corresponding sides. You could say that the side AB is to the side A prime B prime, BC is to B prime C prime, AC is to A prime C prime. And in the last video we looked at this idea of a translation vector. I'm going to do these in red here. And you can basically draw a line. You can draw a line between your starting points and your ending points. And what you will notice if you do it carefully, which I'm not, you should use a ruler, A prime, B prime, those lines will all be parallel. They'll all be parallel, they'll all have the exact same slope. That slope would be up 2 over 4, if you wanted to look at it that way. M, if you remember from algebra, so those would all be parallel lines to one another. And those would be called translation vectors. So again, I'll label that translation vectors. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward, I think. That's how you slide a polygon. So what we actually did was we took ABC, we slid it to the right, and we slid it up. We wrote a rule for that translation. Again, translation is just sliding things. This is the format of the rule. It's a T for translation. For normal convention, positive X, positive Y means right and up. And then I'm going to name the polygon that I'm moving. And I'm going to say that that becomes the destination polygon or the image A prime, B prime, C prime.